In 2023, Victor Osimhen was living the dream of every footballer. He wasn't just any player in Serie A. He was the star who led Napoli to their first league title in 33 years. With 26 goals in 32 games, Osimhen was on top of the world. But just over a year later, everything has changed. Osimhen is now on loan at Galatasaray, a move that no one saw coming. How did one of Europe's best strikers end up here? Let's break it down. Victor Osimhen was born on December 29, 1998, in Lagos, Nigeria, a city where football is a big deal. He started showing his amazing talent as a teenager, catching the attention of European scouts. In 2020, he made a big move to Napoli from Lille for a record transfer fee. But things started to go wrong when Napoli's coach, Luciano Spalletti, who led the team to victory, made a surprising decision. He decided to leave, saying he was too tired to continue. This was the first big problem. Napoli, a team that had just reached the top of Italian football, suddenly lost its leader. After Spalletti left, things got worse. The new coach, Rudy Garcia, couldn't bring the same success. Napoli's performance dropped, and the team went from being champions to struggling. The unity in the locker room broke down, and Osimhen, the star player, started feeling more and more alone. Meanwhile, contract talks between Osimhen and Napoli became a long, drawn-out process. His contract was set to expire in June 2024, and while both sides seemed to want an extension, they couldn't agree on the terms. The main issue was the release clause. Osimhen wanted a clause that would allow him to leave if a big club showed interest. But Napoli's president, Aurelio De Laurentiis, wasn't on the same page. As the negotiations dragged on, tensions rose, and then something terrible happened. Napoli's official TikTok account posted videos that were racially offensive towards Osimhen. The posts were meant to go viral, but instead sparked outrage. The club quickly apologized, and fans tried to support Osimhen. But the damage was done. The relationship between Osimhen and Napoli was seriously hurt. Despite these issues, Osimhen eventually signed a contract extension, keeping him at the club until June 2026. However, this extension came with a huge 130 million euros release clause, which made it almost impossible for other clubs to afford him. Meanwhile, Napoli continued to struggle on the field, finishing 10th in Serie A. For a player like Osimhen, this was unacceptable. By the time the summer 2024 transfer window opened, Osimhen was frustrated and clearly wanted to leave. Clubs like Manchester United and Chelsea were interested, but the 130 million euros release clause was a big problem. United, after spending a lot of money on other players, couldn't justify the high price. Chelsea was interested in a loan deal, but Osimhen's camp wasn't happy with another temporary move. Then came Paris Saint-Germain, who also showed serious interest. But they, too, hesitated because of the release clause. Napoli refused to lower their demands, insisting on the full amount. As the transfer window neared its end, it looked like Osimhen would be stuck at Napoli, unable to leave due to his contract. But just when it seemed like there were no options left, Galatasaray, one of Turkey's biggest clubs, stepped in. Turkey's transfer window was open longer than most European leagues, giving them a unique chance. Galatasaray saw an opportunity to bring in a world-class talent, even if it was just on loan, and they acted quickly. For Osimhen, moving to Galatasaray wasn't ideal. Just a year ago, he was linked with Europe's top clubs. Now, he was heading to a league that doesn't usually attract players of his level. But with the European transfer window closed, his options were limited. It was either join Galatasaray or spend months on the sidelines at Napoli. So, why did it come to this? How did a player who was once one of the most wanted strikers in the world end up in Turkey? It all happened because of several factors coming together. First, the coaching changes at Napoli messed up the team's chemistry and affected Osimhen's performance. Then, the messy contract talks and the racial controversy made things even worse. Finally, the financial realities of football today meant that very few clubs could afford Napoli's high demands. Now, Osimhen is at a crossroads. His move to Galatasaray gives him a chance to play regularly and stay in the spotlight, but it's far from what he had planned for his career. There's already talk of a potential move in January if a bigger club shows interest, but nothing is certain. The risk for Osimhen is that he could fade into the background, overtaken by the next big football star. And what about Napoli? They've lost their top striker and replaced him with Romelu Lukaku, a player who has been moving from club to club in recent years. Napoli is taking a gamble, hoping Lukaku can fill the gap left by Osimhen. But if things don't work out, they might end up regretting how they handled the whole situation. As for Osimhen, moving to Galatasaray is a step into the unknown. Turkish football is passionate and competitive, but it's not where most top players see themselves at the peak of their careers. But for now, this is where Osimhen will be playing, and it's up to him to make the most of this unexpected chapter in his career. Is this the end for Osimhen? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure having you here. It would make my day if you could like, subscribe, or maybe share this with a friend. Have a great day.